All right, how's it going, guys? Eli and Mike here again on another podcast, and we have an amazing guest here. I mean, I don't think we really need to name this dude, but just looking at what he does and what he's created on so many different platforms, we have the amazing Sean Mike Kelly from Digital Social Hour here with us today.
What's
Let's
up,
go.
guys?
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. You guys?
We're doing amazing.
Powerful, man. Feel amazing.
Definitely.
Nice.
We're here in Vegas with you at there's a F1 event going on, so thank you for being here with us.
Yeah.
That's right.
So excited, so excited. And actually, we're so excited not only about the F1, we're more excited because we get to pick your brain today. And usually you're picking brains of so many amazing individuals, and
Yep.
now we get to pick your brain, the amazing one on the other end. So we're so
Yeah.
excited right now.
Tables have turned.
Yes, exactly.
Definitely intentionally, because I feel like sometimes when you do your own podcast, you forget that sometimes people want to interview you as well.
Yeah.
And we've been on that other side too. And we're like, okay, wait a minute, somebody's gonna ask us a bunch of questions. I'm like, are we ready for this? So thank you for allowing us to come here to your arena and do what we
Yes.
try to do our best, right?
Loves it,
Um,
loves it.
So we noticed you a lot on social media. I think you do an amazing job considering the fact that you've done countless of hundreds of podcast shows already, and we're learning from your media. And myself and Mike were like, all right, we're still kind of newbies at it.
Yeah.
Or I think we've only recorded like our 30th podcast.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But we wanted to ask you a few things and say, hey, like, what do you think about these things? But Digital Social Hour, what inspired you? What was it what was the beginnings for you as to why it all happened?
Yes.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do a podcast. My dad used to listen to Rogan when I was in high school, and we would listen to full episodes, like 2-3 hour episodes, and just bond over it. So
Love that.
podcasting has been in my life for a while. And I tried doing one 5 years ago, total flop. So like,
Okay.
I didn't have the network, didn't have the knowledge, and they were all over Zoom also, which I don't do at all.
Got it.
I feel like podcasts should be done in person.
Yes.
I follow
agreed.
the same philosophy. We've had, I think, about 3 individuals that wanted to do them by Zoom. And I'm like, when you're in town, let's do it then, or we'll fly out to you. Because I agree 1,000%. I feel like the Zooms are more for like trainings.
Yeah.
Maybe for people that are lazy or something. But people are very busy. And like, I would have never asked you, hey, let's do a Zoom. I'm like, well, no, I think we can fly out here for this one.
Yeah.
Because I think people's time is valuable. To the perspective where I feel like an in-person conversation seems a lot more valuable for something to be committed to, I think.
Absolutely. Zoom actually lowers the video quality on
Okay.
purpose. And also, you can't read people's body language, and there's no networking after or
Right.
before.
Yeah, exactly. And so you said that 5 years ago it flopped. What got you to say, you know what, I'm gonna give this another try?
Yeah, so I sold my marketing agency last year. I had a marketing agency in the crypto space. Sold that at the right time. I felt pretty lost for 2-3 months. Like I would
Okay.
wake up with no purpose.
Wow.
Sleep until 10, 11 a.m.
Yes.
And a lot of people actually who sell their company go through this.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy part is I even knew that would probably happen, and I
Right.
still couldn't fight it off.
Oh wow.
Because I just felt like, damn, what should I do now?
Mm-hmm.
And
Like you felt like you basically were pretty set.
well, yeah, the money's one thing, but also
Right.
like you're in that zone for so long, however many months or years, that's
Right.
all you know.
Yes.
So now you got to start something again, completely
wow.
different, and it's
Okay.
kind of scary.
Yeah. Definitely.
And yeah, so podcast when January started this year, I'm like, I'm not waiting anymore. I've been wanting to do this again for a couple years. Pulled the
Definitely.
trigger.
So
I think
amazing.
that's amazing. I actually feel, and I agree with you, that sometimes when you're doing something big and then you not necessarily resist, but you stop for a second, I actually feel that it's actually a good thing because you kind of start recalibrating yourself and thinking, all right, I finished this venture and now I'm looking into doing something different. Or maybe you don't think about it for a minute, like kind of like what you did. And you're like, oh, I'm going to sleep in and kind of chill for a minute because I did something big and it came through. And now you're all right, maybe what should I be thinking about doing now? And I think a lot of entrepreneurs out there, they also run into these hiccups, these problems, right? Because we know a bunch of them that say the same thing. They're like, oh, I'm going to sell my business one day, maybe 2-3 years down the line. Because that's the ultimate goal in some cases is I want to sell it for X amount of millions or billions. And then they do it. And then in your case, you did, X amount of whatever that number might be. And you were just, all right, now I'm just going to maybe find myself again. And
Yeah.
which, here you go. You have your podcast, which is killing it, right? It's
Right.
the number one platform in the country, and I think that's amazing.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Can we talk about that? So like, how do you feel being, the number one podcast in the United States? Like that is
Yeah.
so epic. Like, how do you feel?
Yeah, it's a stepping stone. So it's number one in marketing.
Okay. Yes.
But
yes.
now there's other levels. So now I got to get to number one in business.
Yes.
And then number one overall. So it feels great. It's, a year of hard work, but there's more to do.
Definitely. And marketing's everything. So just to have that number one spot is just like, that's how we all get our
Right.
business done nowadays, is with marketing, and you're number one in that space. So
Yeah.
just congratulations to your success.
Thank you.
And yes, and not only that, I have the chills right now, honestly, because you're saying that this show, your podcast has been going on since January. I mean, I truly feel like this show has been going on
Right.
for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Because of how many guests you've had, how much you are marketing out there, being number one. I mean, I'm a little bit shocked because I've seen a lot of your podcasts. There's so many, obviously, it's hard to get to everyone.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I always thought it was like, okay, like he's been doing this for years. He's an expert. He knows what he's doing. And you are an expert. But again, my mindset was just thinking like years, and you're saying only since January, and you're already at the number one spot in marketing. That's just amazing. I love that so
It
much.
really is.
There's a lot that goes into it behind the scenes. This is a full-time thing for me. So I'm
that.
spending 60 plus hours a week.
Wow.
But people see the episodes, and I get that all the time. Like, wait, you've only been around for a year.
Right.
It's because I release a full episode every day.
Wow.
Most podcasts don't do that.
Oh my God, no.
So just from the sheer volume alone, like I'll be able to surpass Joe Rogan in probably, I think he's at what, 2,000 now?
Right.
So 7 years.
Wow.
And I
That
think
is
that's
so
powerful too, because
amazing.
you're doing them every single day and you're posting content continuously. And I think that's the best method, exactly like you said, marketing. You're doing genius work by just consistently being in front of people's face.
Yep.
And that's what we do in Hollywood, right?
Yes.
With Beverly Hills and real estate. We're just like always posting content, but we're learning from people from like yourself that are posting so many variety of different content that it's kind of like you're not keeping your information to just one sector of business. You're interviewing everybody that has anything, any type of business, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's fascinating because you're not creating a boring type of amount of people. Everybody's going to be interested in tuning into your content and be like, all right, what is it about this time? It's
Exactly.
not just real estate. It's not just marketing. It's something different. Like I think one of your viral ones was this girl on top of this dude or something. And I was like, what happened here? I mean, actually, I want to know about what happened, dude.
Yeah, talk to us.
So yeah, the story behind that, I knew I had to make a statement when I launched the podcast. So that was actually the first episode.
Oh my God, I love this.
So I was
Wow.
like, listen, there's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of podcasts, right, in the business space. And most of them are boring, like you said. They have on the same
Right.
industry, and it
Yes.
gets boring. Like, let's be honest. If you're real estate, like you guys do real estate, if you only have on real estate people, you're segmenting a lot of people.
Correct.
So my thought was, let me do something crazy that's never been done. This girl sits on your lap and cuts your hair. Let me have
Yeah.
her do that while I'm interviewing her. And that's going to
my
be the
God.
first
That was
episode.
epic, I bet.
It was so
So I
epic.
released that, got like 20 million views.
Oh my God.
And I was like, all right, I'm on to something.
Okay.
That's it.
And as a
okay.
podcaster, you always got to be looking at doing something different.
Yes.
Right. So that's why I release an episode a day. That's why I study my algorithm 2 hours a day looking for guests.
Amazing.
I'm always going to be able to find interesting people. and that's
this.
something people neglect.
Wow, that is so
And
epic.
what, if you don't mind me asking, what did you do? So the moment that happened, obviously that was like, oh my God, right? That was probably an oh my God moment. What did you feel that needed to happen after that happened? Like, so, all right, I got this happen. Did you think, all right, this is my career now. I want to spend all my time on building this podcast? Or how did you take it from there?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also, how did you feel too with that many views? That's like
It was
epic.
crazy because I've never gotten that many
Okay.
before. But yeah, from there, I knew I had to keep the momentum going. Because most people, they get a viral video and they don't monetize it.
Right.
They don't take further action.
Right.
So I knew I had to keep it up. So I just kept looking for more and more interesting guests. I study my Instagram reels. I study my TikTok For You page, YouTube reels. Facebook's actually how I find some good guests. Facebook reels.
Amazing.
Study all those 4 every day. And if I see interesting clips, I'll reach out to the person, the guest, and that's how I get a lot of good guests.
Oh my God, I love
That's
that.
great
I love that.
information for us too, like for us
Yeah.
to use for our.
And anybody who is doing a podcast, I mean, this is just like golden nuggets to
Literally.
don't just take it for granted. Like you are literally hours on the day, doing your research. This is your job, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of podcasters out there, they don't take it as serious, and then this is why they're not getting the views. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think 90% don't make it to episode 10, and then 99% of the remaining 10% don't make it to 100.
Oh wow.
Okay, so we can't be that.
Right.
We're at 30. We
Right.
gotta hit 100.
Yeah, we
you
are
just
not
told me
doing
something
that.
that's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
you just inspired
You literally
us.
made it impossible for us to
Yes,
quit.
right.
Love it.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
it's not going to happen. So talk to us about those drinks. They're everywhere around this.
Yeah.
Right. So what inspired you? What is that called?
Let's
Is
go.
it Digital
Mr. Sean
Social
Kelly.
Hour,
Loves
sugar-free.
it.
And besides, we
Yes,
love
yeah.
sugar-free
Yeah.
drinks. But
Right,
what inspired you to do these?
So here's my whole philosophy with business partnerships. When you just provide value, opportunities come, right? And I had this lovely girl on the podcast, Jennifer Mitchell. She's actually a past life therapist.
Oh, wow.
So she'll put you under hypnosis and explore all your past lives and release your trauma,
Wow.
generational trauma.
Oh my God.
I think you need that.
Right. I think I need that. I think I need that.
So
I'm
her-
also a therapist.
I'm
by
gonna
the way.
go find that. I'm gonna go find that podcast and hit her up.
She's
Yeah.
awesome, and her
Okay.
husband owns a beverage company.
Okay.
So they just in because I had them on, gave them a platform. They just made me a bunch of free energy
Oh
drinks.
my
and-
gosh, that's so amazing. I thought you were gonna say like your past life was making
Oh no,
energy drinks. So I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Oh, wow.
But
I did have some very
you know.
interesting past lives.
Oh
but
my
no,
God, can you
energy-
tell us one that she told you that
Oh,
you were
yeah,
like,
we,
what
we
the
have to
heck?
hear this.
Yeah. So she gave me 3. I actually received 3 a month. So I've had a total
Oh my
of
God.
500.
What?
And every month she
What?
gives me 3 and release more and more trauma.
Oh,
I pay
my
her for like
gosh.
spiritual coaching.
Oh wow.
But one of them was I was a very stressed out businessman.
Okay. Okay.
So I was taking care of my sister who was a prostitute. I was taking care
Oh my goodness.
of my mother who didn't work, and I was just really stressed, just
Wow.
overworking.
Wow.
So I ended up dying from a heart attack at 62 because I was so stressed. And
I'm so shocked.
and crazy part is in this life, I used
Mm-hmm.
to have weird heart pain and heart palpitations and stuff.
Wow.
After she released that trauma, it all went away.
Really?
What in the world? This is insane.
Oh, so it was like
Yeah.
a trauma release. Like after you hear of what it is, it like.
She goes back, talks to
pushes
that
it out.
person, and releases the
Oh
trauma.
my gosh!
Yeah,
Wow,
it's
that
pretty
is
intense.
so intense.
Wow, that's powerful energy right there.
wow.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
even almost unthinkable. I mean, I think the human mind right now doesn't even think about other outside energies.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
we know a lot about The Secret and stuff like that. I don't know if you follow energies, but
I do.
You do, and,
Yeah.
and that's how we feel. We feel like
Right.
stuff like what you just said. That's very impacting to the soul, the mind, and I think like doing that sounds like something we should be doing all the time, right? Because I feel like we're always
Yeah.
stuck with some kind of pain in the back of our mind.
It's worth testing, man. It really opened my eyes.
Love that. And since we're talking about the past a little bit, we want to kind of ask you a question about it. I believe it was around 2018, 2019. And you made a post about you wanting to be on, TED Talk. So, I think our question is this something you're still shooting for?
Yeah.
And it's amazing, though, because you
Right.
posted that in 2018, 2019, and now it's almost like you have a daily TED Talk.
Yeah.
So it's so amazing because you're reaching so
Yeah.
many millions of people.
The Sean Doc.
Sometimes even TED Talk doesn't reach this many people. And,
Right.
Yeah.
you're
Wow.
reaching them on the daily. So, is this something that you're still aiming for? Or do you feel, that you kind of already surpassed TED Talk? You
Yeah.
have your own TED Talk.
Wow,
know
you
what I
guys did your research. Yeah, I got invited to do a TEDx youth talk once, but I couldn't make it. So I still definitely want to do it.
mean? Okay, yeah.
Just because it's great experience. I like
Right.
putting myself in uncomfortable situations. Public speaking's a fear I had for many years because
wow.
of school.
Okay.
Because they make you present stuff you don't care about, and
Right,
you're just like
right.
nervous about it. So
Yes.
yeah, I definitely want to conquer that fear still.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Not even just for the views, just for like the impact and like just putting myself
Powerful.
there.
Oh yeah, and the impact would be grand because just you speaking with us for the couple minutes that we've been doing this, I mean, I've already learned many lessons where I'm literally going back. We're
Yeah.
gonna make sure we have 100 shows plus. And,
Oh, my TED Talk
so
would
many
save
things.
lives.
Oh my
Like it would be
God.
crazy.
Yes, and we're gonna make sure we know it's gonna happen when you do make it happen, and we're gonna make sure we're right there in the front seat because it's gonna be so educational. I already know it. It
Love it.
definitely
No,
will change lives.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
for our viewers to know, like, how old are you actually?
I'm 26.
26. So,
Oh my God.
And this creates so many different positions for people, right? So a lot of people think that when they're in their 20s, sometimes things are impossible to reach. They think
Yeah.
that, oh no, I gotta wait till I'm 30 or 40 before I can create this huge business. You're 26, you even have different lives that are going on that you're clearing up in the space.
Yeah.
And you have an amazing podcast. You do a great job with meeting influencers and huge celebrities. And even us, we're here, and we're, thank you for allowing us to have you on our podcast.
Yes. Honored.
26 years old. So what happened, or being this young, right? I think a lot of younger entrepreneurs don't know how to start,
Yeah.
right? They don't understand what is it that starts everything, right? We can all say, oh, just start something, right? Like, what do you recommend for viewers that are in their 20s? What do they need to do to begin kind of their journey?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, I think it's awful advice to wait until your 30s and 40s to make money because by that point, everyone has money. If you can get money in your 20s, you're going to be a difference maker. You're going to be.
Agreed.
The thing with making money in your 20s, people are attracted to young energy. So
Yes.
I know billionaires, centimillionaires in their 40s and 50s. They love having me around.
Love
Even
that.
though I don't have as much money as them, they just
Yes.
love the young energy.
Correct.
They keep guys like us around. But the biggest thing is definitely a mentor. You need that 100%.
Absolutely.
My first 3 years I didn't, and it sucked. And I made a lot of mistakes on time, on money. So having a mentor is a game changer.
Love this.
That can expedite your process by years.
Love this.
Secondly,
go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Surrounding yourselves with the right people. You might have to cut your family off. Like, if we're being honest,
Wow.
like sometimes your family's not supportive, and that negative energy will eat at you.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm not saying to cut them off completely, but
Right.
like instead of talking to them every day, maybe every week,
Yes.
because we all got some weird aunts or uncles that are hating.
Right.
They're hating us too, actually.
No, that
They're
answer sent chills down my back. Like, it was so real, that answer.
Yeah.
And you know, do you have anything else on that topic? Like,
No, just to elaborate, like I remember dropping out of college and my aunts were talking shit, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, I'm never talking to you again.
right.
And you know what?
yeah.
Dropping out of college was probably one of but you said college, right?
Yeah.
Dropping out of college is probably one of the best things that actually probably happened to you. Because I went to college, I went to a university. I wish I can go back and say, all right, maybe I could have used my time a little bit more resourcefully.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also feel like some college also helps some articulation, some verb, some language.
Yeah.
To become this businessman. So it's a give and take, right? You never know 100%. It depends on the person.
Yeah.
But I feel like what you did, I mean, if you were just, I mean, I'm not going to say harsh things, but let's just say you were just this dude down the street that works at McDonald's, right? You haven't really explored your life. You're kind of just accepting this simple lifestyle that the world wants you to have.
Yep.
And you're 26 and you're like, no, I'm going to do whatever is necessary because I'm putting myself around powerful people, mentors, which actually we had a mentor before that actually helped us elevate ourselves by making us less nervous. Like right now, being our 31st podcast, we're not as nervous as we used to be
Right.
because we're like, oh, how are we interviewing this dude with 11 million followers? Like, how is this possible?
Right.
But it's that mentor that you're recommending individuals that are in their 20s, 30s. I mean, I don't think nobody should ever not have a mentor.
Right.
But I think that's great advice because now people can even see like, wow, like I could be in my 20s and even 18 and be like, hey, I just got to find somebody that's somewhat made it or
Yeah.
can give me an explanation of what to do with life and make it possible.
Exactly. I've met teenage self-made millionaires because they're around the right people and they have the right mentors.
Amazing.
And at that age, I didn't even know what was possible.
That's so powerful. So basically, even you don't even have to be in your 20s. You can be in your teens. And you can be a millionaire, right?
Yeah, it's possible. I've
so,
seen it
you
with my
know,
own eyes. Yeah.
So you're like giving us so much gold nuggets, even for teenage or people in their 20s. Don't wait till you're in your 30s
Don't
or
wait.
40s. This is so powerful. I'm sure. You have like one main mentor. Do you have a shout out for him so we know? But I know there's a few. I knew that
so
you
it
were going
actually
to say that.
changes as I reach new levels
Yes,
because
yes.
there's certain phases of life.
Right.
But Dan Fleischman's someone I'd consider a mentor.
Love him.
Amazing.
Yes.
Mr. Freed right now, he's
Amazing.
part of the SneakerCon.
Okay,
He's
love
mentoring
that.
me.
Okay, love that.
I'd say on the health side, Gary Brecka, I'd
Okay,
consider a
yes.
mentor.
Amazing.
I've rapidly changed my health the past year.
Amazing, love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were talking a little bit ago, and you're switching from like plastic cups or bottles to like glass when you're drinking your water or anything.
Yeah, so I took it a step further. Actually, I'm switching from alkaline water completely to spring water
No
and
way.
plastic to glass.
Okay, so I'm curious about that, right? Because a lot of
Yeah.
people talk about the whole alkaline being better, right? Like
Yeah.
there's
Right.
this Kangen system, water filtration system that's
Yeah,
supposed to be
actually,
better.
could you tell us about this? Because
Yeah.
we actually just bought a machine. It was like, I
Yeah,
know,
no,
I know.
No, but not just. We've
And it was
had it for a couple of years.
like 2 years. It was like
Okay.
2 years, and literally, it's an alkaline machine. And I'll tell you guys the price just because this
Yeah.
is how our mindset was. Like, we need that water.
Yeah.
And the machine alone was $6,000.
Holy.
And so
know.
this is like an alkaline machine, and
everywhere, too, in
I'll be
our
honest
office
too,
and-
though.
Kangen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
only reason why we got this is because we're like, okay, like what are like the billionaires of the world drinking, and we kind of see like this machine in like Mayweather's house and like Jeff Bezos' house, and like
Interesting.
we see it in a lot of like celebrities' homes, and my mindset was like, well, they're obviously going to drink the best of the best, so why are they drinking this? And obviously we do our research and we start drinking it, but I want to know. Maybe we need to switch to spring water because we
Right.
need to hear what you have
What's
to
your
say.
thought on that?
Well,
Yeah,
I
your
mainly
thought.
switched from alkaline because Gary Brecka said it was all BS. It was all marketing.
Yes.
What I'll say about the Kangen stuff is just research both sides.
Got it.
I mean, you guys are smart enough to make your own opinion, but
Right, yes.
it's with marketing and health, it's easy to just believe,
Right.
one side if you're only
Right.
hearing that side.
That's right.
Definitely. And if I could be honest too, the reason why we bought it was probably because the marketing
Yeah,
that was
I mean,
shown
I've been
to us.
pitched that machine thousands of times.
Okay,
so-
okay. So it wasn't just us. Oh my God.
Well, I rent my house, so that's why I didn't get it. But
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a good
amazing.
thing in the end.
well, I don't know enough. I mean,
Got it.
It's alkaline, right?
Yeah.
There's some weird new things about alkaline. I would look more into it.
True. Yeah, we need to because it is pretty new.
And that's
Yeah.
that's the progression of what all types of evolution. We never know until we really do a lot more work and research on everything.
Yeah.
Because just like even spring water, who knows in 5 years we're like, oh no, not the spring water, right?
Exactly. It
You
always
never
changes.
know. It always
Yeah,
changes,
it
right?
does. It does.
So a question for you. So I know you've already been experiencing things like with I don't know if are they card readers or the person that gives you your life
Past life therapy, and I've done psychedelics.
Oh,
psychedelics.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that in a minute, right?
Okay, love it, love it. Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
curious about that one too.
Yeah.
So, what has been and if you're open to discussing this, what has been a deep, impactful situation in your life today?
Yeah.
Anytime that's happened that has really caused you either to fall behind or you feel and you can't get up, and what may have changed that?
Yeah, this is deep. But my dad passed away. So this was like 2 years ago.
Oh wow,
Okay.
God bless.
So he passed away, and honestly, he texted me a bunch of stuff like months before, and I
Wow.
didn't answer.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And it was about how he was dealing with some like emotional problems and like
Yes.
sent me paragraphs,
Oh wow.
and I didn't answer.
Oh my God.
And he was trying to vent to me and talk to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt so bad.
Oh wow.
So
Wow.
I felt like I had no closure when it happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But being able to connect with the past life person, she actually connected us.
Oh wow.
So I got to have some closure,
No
and that
way.
like really made me feel better because I
Oh,
felt
good.
terrible.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
But being able to understand where he was coming from, what happened,
Mm-hmm.
gave me a lot of closure.
Wow.
My God.
That is, and you feel that there was like a real connection there with that past life therapist.
Oh yeah, because my dad was a ghost online. Like if you looked him up, he made sure he purged everything. He was anti-social. He hated what I did.
Oh, wow.
God.
Yeah, he told me
Okay.
to delete everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, he hated the internet in that regard. So there's no way you could have looked up any of this, and what she was saying, like only he would know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I literally have the chills again. Sorry,
Wow.
I just keep getting the chills from all
Yeah,
these.
and there's a lot of BS in that space. So you've really got to find someone that is spiritual.
Most
But
definitely.
it's really hard too because a lot of them are BS. But there's
Right.
people with powers.
Oh yeah. No, I believe for
Do you
sure.
recommend that to be like done in person, or are these Zooms? Are these done?
We did both. But if you're spiritual enough, you could do it over Zoom. It's not an issue.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've never tried that before. We've always been scared of going like card readers because we just don't know what they're gonna tell us.
Yeah,
Just,
I
I
don't know
think
about
because
those.
we just believe like there are real people with powers. And
Yeah.
we know
Right.
if we run into the right one again,
Yeah.
it's going to be pretty
You'd be
powerful.
surprised who uses them. I know a lot of big A-listers, a lot of billionaires.
Oh,
They don't
wow.
really talk about it because
Yeah.
it's, some people are very against that sort of stuff.
Definitely.
But yeah.
Yeah, and well, thank you for sharing that with us. That is very deep, and it's about your father. And you were saying in the beginning of the podcast that you and your father used to watch, Joe Rogan and these podcasts, and now you're here today, and it's kind of amazing that you have this show, and it is something that you used to do with your dad, and then you kind of still have like that little connection there in a way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
for
And-
sure.
And I think that's really powerful, and that you even started the show telling us that is so powerful, because I did not know this about your father, and now that we know, it's like, wow, that connection is just, I feel it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's so amazing to be sitting in this room with you, knowing that you used to be sitting in a room with your dad, and it was something you guys went all in on. Like you said, the Joe Rogan show is like 2+ hours, so it's not just like a little 30-minute show or something.
Yeah.
You're sitting there literally going deep into these thoughts, and
Some of them are 4 or 5 hours.
right.
You
Yeah.
watch the whole thing.
Right.
And it's crazy because one day he'll come on my show and that'll be a full circle moment.
Yes. Oh my God, I can't wait to see that. And I already see him sitting here.
It's
so.
gonna happen.
Oh my
That's
God,
a
yes,
fact.
definitely, definitely.
So as you grew up, you're still very young. So I'm 45, Mike's 30.
33. Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
So I've lived like 1,000 lives already.
We wish we were 26.
Yeah, I
But,
can go backwards. But I have kids too. We have 2 kids and so
Nice.
forth. But
Yes.
have you always wanted to do what you're doing right now? Like when you grew up, first thing is, hey, Dad, I want to do this when I grow up.
Yeah.
What is it? What was that?
Early on, it was astronaut. Then I became too tall. I think there's a height limit.
Okay. Okay.
So I passed that.
there
Yeah.
really a
Actually, we
height
wanted to
limit?
ask you about your height. How tall are
Yeah,
you?
I'm 6'6". I think you can't be
Oh
over
my God.
6'5", I believe, unless they
wow.
changed
No
it.
kidding.
Really?
Yeah, they
Oh
might
my
have changed
gosh.
it, but I know as a kid that's what it was.
Wow.
But
They just-
I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. My
Okay,
dad was an
love that.
entrepreneur on the side. We
Amazing.
used to go to book sales,
Oh wow.
and he was so smart. He could see any book and know how much it would sell for.
No way.
Just off site.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because he was
yes.
autistic, so he just had like a power with that.
Wow. Was
And
nice.
he would
Love
send
that.
me in some dumpsters at the library. I would pick up books and say, "Dad, is this worth something?"
No way.
So we did that. He sold them on eBay and Amazon. That was a great memory
Oh, wow.
for me,
Oh
and
my
that
gosh,
made me want to
amazing.
be an entrepreneur.
There
Wow,
you
that's
go.
amazing.
Love that. Love that.
That's powerful stuff. I mean, to be able to go back and recollect what you wanted in life. I mean, because you wanted to be an astronaut, and you said about being tall, right? So we were talking about this before we got here about you being this tall, right? And you know, you're all about your jerseys, and or at least that's what we've seen in your. What was the year? 19? No, I'm 19. I mean, sorry, that's my year.
2019.
2019.
Like 2019.
See, I got the 19 part.
Yeah.
I got the 19 part.
So,
But
yeah, so we know that you make like, you know, you're invested into all those jerseys and
Yeah.
the clothing line and all that amazing stuff. Is it because you were in sports as well? Because we also saw you playing some basketball,
Right,
which
right.
you look like a basketball player.
I know, right?
You
every
have that
tall
look,
person,
dude.
every tall person gets asked if you play basketball.
I know. Don't hate us. Don't hate us.
I'm so used to. I even ask tall people if they play.
Okay,
I'm so used
perfect.
to it.
Okay, I feel
But
better.
crazy thing with the jerseys, I did that for a while, but now I actually don't wear them anymore.
Okay.
So I just had this guest, Greg O'Gallagher,
Okay.
and he was telling me polyester is terrible for guys.
Oh,
it
yes.
stunts your testosterone.
Right.
No
So I
kidding.
threw out all my polyester underwear,
wow.
which I had
Okay.
a lot of. Now
Right.
it's
Okay.
all cotton.
Perfect.
Got it.
Jerseys are all polyester, so I try to not wear them anymore.
Got it.
And a lot of your like bed sheets, like pillow sheets, they're polyester,
Yes.
so you're sleeping on it too.
Right, and I
That
did
is
this.
insane.
I did this
Wow.
research as well, and since then I've been also wanting to throw out all of my polyester. I know that my bed sheets currently are polyester,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also I know, like you said, like it's stunt stuff. You know what I mean? So like, you know, like, so like,
I
you
don't
know,
think you said that, but
right?
yeah.
But I was like, I kind of want to throw out like my underwear too, and everything like that I have. That's, you know, it's crazy. Even bath towels, right?
Yeah, you got to make sure it's cotton, man.
Right,
Damn.
exactly,
Crazy.
exactly.
Crazy.
So I totally feel you on that. You know, what I
Yeah,
mean?
that was a game changer for me when he told
No
me.
way. Do you feel
'Cause-
I'm gonna do this now that I
Yeah.
know like you took the leap, but have you felt anything?
Yeah, I mean, so his testosterone is 1284. I'm not sure if you guys measure yours, but that's really high.
Okay.
So mine was 552. Now I'm probably in the 800s.
Okay.
wow.
But it's
Okay.
really good for your health to have high
Got it.
testosterone.
We probably should be
Yeah.
measuring that. Yeah,
No, we're
probably
gonna
be a good idea.
we're gonna go back and
Yeah.
do this. Definitely.
Especially if
definitely.
you're measuring yours, like
Yeah.
you're 26.
Who do you think's higher?
Probably me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be me.
Yeah, after 40, actually, I believe
Yeah.
you start to decrease.
It does.
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
it does.
yeah.
I don't feel anything, but I'm probably one of the most mentally youngest mental persons. 'Cause I don't know. Everybody thinks I'm in my 30s still, but whatever.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Right, right. Yeah, love it, love it.
So what's your next thing, right? So you're 26. You're Jesus. You got a lot of life left.
Yeah.
And let's just say 30. I was gonna say 5 years from now, but when you turn 30, when's your birthday?
Right.
Valentine's.
Valentine's
Oh my
Day,
God,
so February.
hey, loves it.
So what's that
Literally.
sign? What's the horoscope sign?
Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Yeah.
Okay, so what attributes from Aquarius do you believe are things that are? I mean, and again, I don't know if you follow the signs and stuff,
Yeah.
because I'm a Scorpio and he's a Gemini.
Okay.
I
Do you
know, I'm
guys
scared.
match?
No.
Right.
Not at all.
Sometimes
Not
it's a
in any
struggle.
way.
Sometimes
yeah,
it's a
Scorpios
struggle.
and Geminis are not meant
Yeah,
to
so
work
same with my
together at all.
fiance and I. We don't match there, and we don't match on the Chinese zodiacs.
Okay.
So that like bugged her out for a bit, but then we found out we're soulmates. So
Oh, there you go.
I think everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, no
Yes,
kidding. You know
love
what?
that.
Actually, people call us twin flames, whatever that
Twin
means.
flames.
Yeah,
Yeah,
call us
yeah,
twin flames, but we're
exactly.
like completely not alike at all.
That's
we're
on
like,
another level than
Yeah.
soulmates. Because
Yeah.
soulmates, you spent 30 lives together. I believe twin flames is even more. It might be 100.
Oh my god.
yeah.
That's so
that
amazing.
explains what we can deal with each
Yeah,
other.
we have 100 lives together for sure. And I think we did look at the Chinese zodiac as
Yeah.
well, and
Yeah.
we're actually the same. Our year ends up to be the same animal, the horse.
Okay.
So that was one thing that like
that was
we
different.
connected.
So you're both
on.
the horse?
Yeah,
We're both
Okay.
horses,
yeah, we did, which
also
can be
makes
good
it
or
hard
bad.
because we're both trying to be
Right.
better than one another.
Yeah.
We're trying to like, push.
Like even right
forward.
now, I'm trying to beat you. No, just kidding.
Oh my god! Right.
Yeah, I actually don't know the traits of Aquarius, but every time I tell people I'm that, it's a good reaction. So I think that's good.
There you go.
No,
right.
it's good.
Exactly.
Aquarius is cool.
exactly.
Because I know certain signs people really avoid.
Yeah. Right. I know. Right. Maybe it's the Gemini. No, just kidding.
Yeah, you're definitely scary. He scares me. Yeah.
But you had so many shows, and this is a question I'm sure all the audience wants to hear. What was like your most craziest guest where you were like, I can't believe we just finished that podcast?
Oh, there's
and
gotta be.
I know
for
there's
sure.
so
Wow.
many.
Hundreds.
I
Right.
felt like that it's usually the spiritual ones because those
Okay.
are really opening because they don't teach that stuff anywhere.
Right.
Right.
So when you're
Right.
being told all this crazy stuff, you're like, wow, there's a whole nother world. Because like when I was growing up, I thought you just die and heaven or hell. Like that's what I thought happens. But there's a lot more that goes into it.
God, yeah, definitely.
That's intense.
Yeah, I'd say Billy Carson though.
Billy Carson.
Billy Carson,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
he's a
so
G.
if you haven't seen this one yet, go watch Billy Carson.
Yeah.
Mr. Sean
Follow
Kelly.
him on Instagram.
Yeah, let's go see it and
Yeah.
let's see how crazy that one is. That's gonna be amazing.
So I think back to my question, right?
Yes.
So when you turn 30,
Yeah.
so let's just say 4 years from now, what do you feel is the new version of you? Because it sounds like you're always evolving. Like what we
Always.
see in your history, it's never
Yeah.
like I'm gonna do podcasts for the rest of my life. That's one thing, right? What do you think you're gonna be? Where are you gonna be at when you're 30 years old?
Yeah, great question. I mean, it's gonna be crazy. I look back at my messages even a year or 2 years ago, and they're so cringe because like you're evolving so
Yes.
quick.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And like
right.
Facebook always shows you your old memories. You're like, what the
Right.
hell is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
What do they do?
Yeah, but 4 years is a long time these days. So
It is.
definitely want to be making an impact. Do a lot of charity stuff for sure.
Amazing.
Now that I have some money and some time,
I mean,
definitely.
Dan
wanna do-
Fleshman does a lot of that too. He's huge on the
yeah.
charity.
So
Yeah.
he's having a toy drive in Vegas next month.
That's right.
So I'm gonna send like 500 people there.
Oh my God,
Amazing.
amazing.
My friend is doing 1,000 meals for homeless on Christmas here.
Wow.
So I'm going to donate all those.
Wow.
Yeah, just helping people out, giving back, inspiring, want to change the education system. That's probably my life goal. I won't be able to do that in 5 years, but I could get the ball rolling.
That's amazing. Those are amazing.
I mean, the educational side is probably the toughest thing because you have to
Right.
fight through so much
Yeah.
paperwork, and
Politics.
so much politics.
Yes.
Yeah,
But I think with alternative media like podcasts, it's possible.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's
Definitely.
good about that too is because our son's 16 and he goes to school because he knows he needs to. But that's the whole thing, right? The mindset things you need to. And we tell him all the time, like, I mean, this is the truth. We don't really want him to go. We're like, why don't you just come work with us and get your
Right, right.
schooling through online or something.
Yeah.
But he's still stuck in this mindset, and I'm gonna let him go because he wants to go. He loves to be able to communicate with his people.
Right.
But I know that at the end, it doesn't really give him the tools because there's no such thing as financial literacy in school right now. Not in high school. I mean, college, and then that's kind of where it starts.
Yeah.
But in high school, they're just building these nothings. And I told my
Nothing.
son, it's like, it's so sad. Like you're learning English and certain things that you're in algebra. Like what is that? Like a equals, I don't even know what that means, right? Unless you're going to be a teacher, right? I mean,
Right.
but even then, what are you teaching, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
what's the perspective? So I am fascinated that you're going to do something like, because that's like pioneering.
Yeah.
Even though there's been other pioneers. But the fact is you're doing something in that your age pool, I think you'll connect more. But the fact that there's students that are like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. I'm not getting anything in my 20s right when I go into school, and that's going to benefit me to get a career.
Yeah.
So I think
Absolutely.
that's amazing.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, high school is a joke. I didn't learn anything.
Yeah. No, yeah. Sometimes it seems like it's a prison, and this is not like I'm not trying to say anything about teachers or anything. They're working to get their families they're taking care of their families, but again, it's not really even them. It's just the way
No,
the
it's not.
system. It's
Yeah,
the
they're following the
system.
script. They have no
Exactly.
control. They have to
Right.
teach it.
Right, exactly. And so sometimes I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm sending my son to prison sometimes.
I'm
Yeah.
not sending my kids to public
Right.
school.
No, yeah, and
Same.
I mean, it's hard sometimes seeing him go, but again, it's just because this is what he wants at the moment. But we are giving him both options. It's like, hey, you have the option we have a real estate and loan office, and we're like, you can come work out of here, or just kind of just watch us and see how work's done. And so we give him the options, and
Right.
some days he
Yeah.
does come with us to work. It's starting to get into his head now.
Nice.
So,
And our daughter works for us. I mean, she's a real estate agent and she's 20. So we're
Nice.
we already know the overall goal is they're going to get into our business, which is I think a parent's dream is while you're following in my footsteps.
Yeah.
Even though they might not want it, you never know. We don't push them to do it.
Right.
Just like you and your dad, the whole watching Joe Rogan. Look at you now. You're actually in the podcast scene.
Yeah.
Probably unintentionally.
Yeah,
but
he
now
never
you're-
pushed me to
never
start
push
with.
you, right? So that's the same thing with me. He wanted to do gaming and stuff. We're like, well, maybe you don't need that, But that's amazing that you're able to kind of shine light to the public and say, hey, look, let's try something different because this way that we're heading is not working.
Right.
I think that's a great thing.
So then, did you you didn't go to college, or you did
I
for a couple
tried.
years?
So like I was brainwashed as a kid, basically.
Okay,
So like I
okay,
went
yeah.
to public school, thought you were a loser if you didn't go to college.
Mm-hmm.
You got bullied if you didn't. So I
Right.
went to Rutgers for a year.
Got it.
Hated it. I would skip class to work.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is crazy. Like I'm spending 20, 30K a year for this.
Yes.
I didn't learn
wow.
anything of substance.
Mm-hmm.
College, the one good thing is the networking.
Mhm,
So that's
mhm.
something I actually did. I would go to
Yes.
frats and network with them.
Love that. Love that.
So that I learned some good social skills there.
There you
but
go.
other than that, I don't see much value.
Right. And at least you used it to your advantage. You were out there networking, making it happen.
And even professors, some of
Mm-hmm.
the professors I would network with, I actually went to Rutgers. They had me speak there to their business school, which I
Oh,
couldn't
wow.
get into.
Oh my gosh. Wow. and you ended up being a speaker.
Yeah, so
So
full
there you
circle.
go. Love
That's
that.
awesome.
I have something. So I know that you. I think this is different because likes are one thing, and then having followers is another thing.
Yeah.
And I know you said it was crazy when you got all these likes, and you were like, "Oh my gosh!" But how did it feel when you looked on your Instagram or all of your platforms, and at least Instagram, that's 11 million followers. Like
Yeah.
that is so mega. What was your mindset when you got your millions of followers?
Yeah, I definitely celebrate every milestone. Like every million's a big one. But the first 10K was the hardest actually. That took years.
Yeah, definitely.
And even 100K took a while. But then I drop 3 to 6 clips a day,
Right.
and I'm getting tens of millions of views daily. So now it's just like a snowball, and it's growing
Got
crazy.
it.
Now other pages are reposting my clips.
That's
So
so
Is that what you recommend? So we do one post daily, but we do a ton of stories. But every single day
Yeah.
we post, so you should be doing like 3.
yeah, I'd
at
rather
minimum.
post than story because story goes away after 24 hours.
Right,
These
right.
reels randomly could pick up like a month later if it goes
Okay.
viral.
And
So
That makes so much sense. So that's one thing that we can learn from, and everybody
Yes.
that's watching can learn the same
Right.
thing. Is hey, just post a lot more consistently,
Yeah.
but very often, like every. And I want to ask you the time questions because I guess that changes depending on the day and how moods and holidays. But that's good advice because we were just like, should we just post once a day? Because
Yeah.
we used to
Yes.
post a lot less, and we're still at 100, and we have about 120 something
Yes.
6,000 followers so far.
Yes, yes.
But we're obviously building still,
Right.
Because when we hit the 100, we're like, oh my god.
yeah.
Yeah, and we
Yeah,
agree, it
100's a
was
big
hard.
one.
Right? And it was hard even just getting 10K. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the
hard.
followers actually I don't care about to be honest. So when I'm looking for guests, I look at views.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Love it. Love it.
So coming from a branding perspective, there's so many different ways to brand, but branding I think is part of it. Kind of goes together with marketing because you can't just market. You could market a name, but at the same time, marketing a brand. Like for example, you have Digital Social Hour, and we have Eli and Mike. What is your perspective of how you use your branding? Like how do you use it in a way to collectively get people to be interested in you?
Yeah, for me, it's mainly the personal brand I focus on. Digital Social Hour, I'm still building. I think it's a good brand, but my reputation's
Love it.
everything.
Yes.
So it took me years to just build it and
Right.
not fuck anyone over, not scam anyone,
Yes.
not make the wrong introduction, and always just give value.
Love it.
So doing that for 6 years, I've been having networking events for 6 years. All of them are free,
wow.
never charge, and just connecting people together. When you connect people together and they end up making money or doing whatever, they feel like they're in debt to you. So now I have a group chat of all the previous podcast guests. There's 500 people in there,
Wow.
and we're all just helping each other out.
Oh my
And that's because of
gosh.
me.
Wow.
I arranged that. So now think about all the positive energy coming my way.
Wow.
That's
powerful.
huge because
Powerful.
the best energy is when you give without expecting to receive something back, and giving is like the hugest
Right.
thing. It's like it's like the whole energy thing. I mean, we every time we give, we're exactly the same. Believe it or not, we're exactly the same way.
Yeah.
In our real estate business that we do, that's our bread and butter. Yes, we earn a commission, but it's not our hey, we need to make this money. It's just a transactional thing, right? But we give so much energy. Like he does his thing, I do my thing, and we're just so intentionally positive with every action. And we want to make our clients feel great about it.
Yeah.
Just like you're doing your podcast, you just want to give information without saying, "Hey, give me some money. I'm doing podcasts for money." It just comes to you naturally because of your following, because of you're giving people information.
Yeah.
And we're so huge fans on that because everything we read, everything we've learned about, and everything we follow on you, and plus it's so great to meet you in person because you just radiate that energy. Like it's crazy. Like when we're texting and all this stuff that I see on social, I'm like, I wonder what kind of guy he is. He seems super cool though.
Right.
Obviously we knew you were young, but at the same time we're like, I wonder what kind of guy he is. And you literally have like you just have this energy about you. Like you see it glowing around you. It's cool.
I love that.
Love it. Love it.
So another question I have for you is, so podcast, right? Is there a limit? Is there something that you're like, I'm going to stop at what Joe Rogan has. Like he has 2,000, right? Or
Yeah,
so much.
something like that.
Do
Yeah.
you feel like you're gonna stop somewhere? Is there like a limit to where you're gonna go?
No, as long as I keep having fun and it doesn't feel like work, I don't see myself ever stopping.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty early on. It's been a year, so it's tough to foresee 5, 10 years out. But as of now, it's one of the best decisions I've made to start a podcast. The networking's crazy.
Oh my God,
The
love
stuff
it.
I'm learning, you can't learn anywhere else. You can't learn it in a book, can't learn it
Right.
on YouTube.
Right.
Being face to face with people, like you feel like the energy, you feel amazing. Getting these messages out, because I have on people with no followers. Being able to get their story out, their messaging feels awesome.
Wow,
Because it
that's
changes
so-
their lives.
So powerful. So
I,
powerful.
I have to ask you this question. Like, what's your ethnicity?
Guess.
Oh, you're
I
gonna make
don't
us
know. Your
guess?
eyes. I mean, he's got very. I mean,
No one's ever guessed it, actually.
Oh, shoot.
no one. Okay, then
Okay.
I'm not gonna know it because I'm already
was-
guessing one, and that's gonna probably gonna
Okay.
be wrong.
But you still have to guess.
I still have to guess. Okay, I feel like you have some kind of Asian descent in
Yes.
your body. Okay, I got something.
Okay.
Oh, I'm right.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's 50%.
Oh, okay, okay.
50% Chinese and 50% Irish.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, so I was
wow.
kind
Oh
of
my
right.
God,
I would have never
okay.
guessed the Irish part.
Yeah, no one ever guesses that. Some people get the Chinese,
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say Chinese.
but the Irish it's hard. But if
Oh,
you know
yeah.
names, you can kind of look at my name. Sean Kelly's really Irish.
Oh, okay.
Both,
Okay.
both names. So
Got it. And your parents, which one side?
my
of-
dad's from the UK, so he's
Okay.
full Irish. And my
Okay.
mom's from China.
Oh, wow.
So both immigrants, and I learned the immigrant, hard work from them.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And are you still? This might be a little bit of a deep question, or maybe it's not. But are you still, well connected with your mom? And
Yeah, so after
know.
the thing with my dad happened, I called my mom every day now.
Ugh,
Like I don't take a
love it.
day off.
Oh my
Wow.
I used to call her like once every 4 months. I was a terrible kid to her,
okay,
but she raised me, man. And she did
Wow.
the best she could with what she knew.
right.
And I looked at her like, because I wasn't looking at her perspective. She wanted me to go to college and get a job and all that because she thought that was the best plan.
Right.
Her generation, that was the best thing to do. But
course.
we're in a new era now.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can make money on your own now.
Right.
And she didn't know. So that was a clash at first, but now she
course.
loves it. She's the biggest fan of the podcast.
Oh my
she watches
God,
every
yay.
episode.
Oh my God! Shout out!
I love
Shout out
that.
to mom.
Shout out to mommy, right?
Loves it. Loves
Yeah.
it.
That is
Yes.
so cool because our parents, well, my dad's this used to be that way. We used to do all this stuff on
Mm-hmm.
Beverly Hills. We're walking down the strip with briefcases, and he's like, "What are you doing that for? Like, we're like, why are you trying to be all cool?" I'm like, "What do you mean,
Mm-hmm.
Dad? It's kind of marketing. It's just how it is nowadays." And we post it on social media, and then now he's like, "Oh my God, like I commented," and I'm like, just don't be the first one to comment, please, because it's kind of
Yeah.
embarrassing when mommy's liking my first post.
Right,
Like,
right,
Can you
right.
wait till like there's 10 comments at least?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But at the same time, we love it.
We do love it, though. That's super
Big
cool.
supporters as well.
We're obviously just Mexican. We speak Spanish.
Yeah.
We heard people speaking Spanish in the other studio, and we're like, maybe he's Mexican.
Yeah, we were
So
like,
I wasn't sure.
We thought it,
I'm
it might,
learning Spanish.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
I'm going to be fluent in it probably in a year.
Amazing.
because of your
amazing.
girlfriend, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
she
her
speaks
whole
Spanish.
family. So I went to Bolivia and they all spoke it.
Oh,
So I was like,
wow.
all right, next time I'm coming, I'm definitely going to know it.
Okay, there you
What
go.
are you gonna take as far as learning?
Duolingo's not doing well. I need to find something else, honestly, because I've been 180 days in and it's not doing shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
I can recommend to some of my people because I work around a lot of people that are not Mexican.
Okay.
They don't know how to speak in Spanish.
it.
I'm like, oh.
I'm
Right.
sure your girl's teaching you as well.
Not really.
No.
Probably the bad
Okay.
words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, the
I
bad
need to learn
words?
quicker because I'm all about just learning quick, and Duolingo's too slow for me.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Sean Mike Kelly.
Loves
I
it.
think it's been an amazing interview. I actually feel honored, and so does Mike, about just being able to have you here for a minute, being that you're super busy, but you really provided a world of abundance of information. I think our anybody that would be watching our podcast is going to be completely surprised. And I think surprised more of the fact that you're 26 and you have so many vehicles moving. It's not just, oh, I'm just doing podcasts. Like you have so many things that you've already done too, and you've attempted it. And that's a huge success. As much as sometimes we fall back because we all learn from failures too. We even posted today something about failures, and we're like, well, it's just part of living. You have
Yeah.
to fail to grow.
And actually, yeah, before we go, you're having all these events too. You're throwing them. They're free, like you said. You're 26 years old, and a lot of individuals out there, you may not even think this is possible. But I mean, look at what you have created since even just January. We're right here in the month of November, and hundreds of podcast shows, multiple free events, and these things, they cost money. You know what I mean? And you're still out there putting your heart, helping people get educated,
Right.
putting them around your circle. That is just so powerful. So, anybody who's watching, like, I just want you guys to know you guys can do it too. You know what I mean? I'm in my 30s and I feel like I'm doing good for myself. Eli's in his 40s. He feels like he's doing good for himself. You're in your 20s. So there's no limit on the age. Just like you said earlier, even teens can make more money than all of us sitting here right now. You know what I mean? And I don't know if there's anything you could even tell the audience that, give them some advice on what, how they can just get ahead and not give up.
That's a great question. Yeah.
So here's the best networking advice that I don't see many people doing, but it changed my life.
Yes.
So when you go to a conference or an event, whatever city it's in, organize a dinner. Okay. Invite 6 to 10 people. You're going to pay for it, but it'll be the best 300 to 500 you'll ever spend because you're going to invite ballers and you're going to connect them together. They're going to do business. They're going to be in debt to you. You're going to add them to your network. I do this every city I go to.
Amazing.
I pay for the dinner. $500 has turned into 500,000 for me doing that.
Wow.
And that's something people don't do. But something as simple as that,
Got it.
can open
I
a lot
love
of
that.
doors.
No, I love that because usually we're flying back to California tonight, and it's going to be for a dinner with some of our previous, people or clients. But we could have did something amazing like having like multiple people at this dinner tonight. So you even just taught me something right now. So I'm going to go home and use that. And if anybody's watching right now, that is so phenomenal to use because like you said, you could turn $500 into $5,000 or even $50,000, $100,000, depending on what industry you're in. And that is just gold right there. I love that.
Amazing advice.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for that. All right. So what's up, guys? So thanks for being part of this podcast. Sean Mike Kelly has been amazing with us and seriously really appreciate you.
Yep.
You guys will watch this on YouTube. Just wait out for more information about when we release it. But this was amazing.
Loves it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you for
Thanks
having
for
us.
having me, guys.
Loves it. Thank you.
Oh, actually, one more thing. Where do we find you? Where do we have our guests find you?
Digital Social Hour Podcast. You could find that anywhere. And then on Instagram, Sean Mike Kelly.
Loves it.
You'll find them easy. Super easy.
Let's go. Thank
Bye, guys.
you.
Peace.